our desire for NCHE is to help parents homeschool with confidence and joy. And we do that in 3 ways. And you can see this on the slide here: protecting, equipping, and connecting. We want to protect the rights of parents in North Carolina to homeschool. We want to equip you with the information and encouragement you need to keep going, and to connect you with the support system. Okay, it's very similar to the 3 words we use for thrive, except it's a little different. The difference is protect. Now I want to take just a couple of minutes to talk about protection. Did you know that there was a time that it was not legal to homeschool in North Carolina? Did you know that people were actually arrested in the 80s for not fulfilling attendance policy? Okay, what happened? Well, in the 80s this was taking place, and in 1984, North Carolinians for Home Education was first established before it was legal to homeschool, to begin to talk about this and know what to do. That was the first year they actually already had a conference and published a Greenhouse magazine, which is the same magazine that we still publish. It was in 1985 that the North Carolina Supreme Court handed out a ruling that actually made homeschool legal in North Carolina. But then there was a brand new battle, because there were folks who wanted to control homeschooling in the home pretty severely. Like you had to have a college degree, you had to have a 6-hour day, you had to use state curriculum, et cetera, et cetera. And so North Carolinians for Home Education was saying that's not what we have in mind for home education. What we have in mind is something where we are able to teach our children what our convictions are and have the ability to do that with freedom. And so there was a great battle that took place. I mean, there were people on the board of North Carolinians for Home Education who were tirelessly working and making phone calls and lobbying and visiting Raleigh and meeting legislators and doing everything that was necessary to make sure that the legislation that was going to go through to determine what homeschooling would look like would be friendly, would be what it's like today. I think you probably know this is one of the best places to homeschool in North Carolina. Well, it's because of, our forefathers. I mean, for the folks who really fought that battle, right? And so it was in 1988 that one of the members of the board of NCHE began writing the legislation that we're basically operating on today, that gives us the kind of freedom that we have. So I'm pretty grateful for that. And I'm grateful that we continue to protect. This is what we do, okay? As new executive director, I had the opportunity to go with Spencer Mason, who's chair of our Law and Policy Committee, and we went to Raleigh, and I was able to go around and meet the legislators and meet people and talk about homeschooling, okay? We also had Capitol Fest. Did anybody in here happen to go to Capitol Fest? Okay, good. And so we were able to meet legislators again and be enforced. I mean, there were a bunch of people there. How many people were there? Over 1,000 homeschool members were there. And do you think they noticed that? Okay. So, and what was our message? We just went around and met people and said, hey, we like the laws, don't change them. We like it. And we're still here, and we're still watching. Okay. So that's one of the things we do.